Rachel Reeves is a thieving and with a kitty haircut. Nobody is coming to save your business. Rachel Reeves isn't coming to save your business. She's here to destroy it, to line her own pockets. HMRC isn't. They're here to, frankly, to destroy it as well. The economy isn't. The next budget won't. Nobody is coming. Nobody is coming. You know, this is a very difficult podcast to make because I have to tell myself these things and I have to force myself to look around these issues that the government have created on purpose for some agenda to try and benefit my business and myself and my family. Business used to be hard. It used to be hard, but now it's harder. Business used to be taxed. Now it's taxed even more. You know, employers and I went up to 15%. The thresholds dropped massively. Labor-heavy businesses got hit twice. Service businesses feel this immediately. The VAT on hospitality business rates that weren't mentioned in the budget doubled, went up 1.5 times. Which means what? The businesses have to charge us more, which you have to pay more, we have to earn more, we need more. It's a stupid cycle. Not a single economist in the government, all morons, right? Personal allowances were frozen, aka stealth tax. They stay the same, but you earn more, you earn less. Tax thresholds were frozen, inflation keeps moving, you work harder, you keep less. Tesco arrives, or you go to Tesco, and you spend what you spent a couple of years ago, but you don't get what you get a couple of years ago. Wages increases, you know, in April, as it does. Then national insurance increases. Higher costs, chemicals, utilities, insurance. But no one asked you as a business owner if you could handle it, or if your margins could take it, or if it made sense, or were you consulted as people who actually run the economy, not those dickheads and their billionaire backers and things like that. And politicians say, oh, businesses should invest more. With what money, brother? Because you're taking it all. However, and this is what pisses me off, because I wish we didn't have to deal with all this crap, right? However, you know, we have to stop waiting for... Now look, some businesses are in certain niches or certain sizes, but actually, maybe you do wait to grow. Maybe you do have to take a different... Fine. But generally, let's not wait for a better economy. Let's not wait for better staff, better government. That ain't gonna fucking happen, is it? Better clients, better timing. Entrepreneurs who can survive these times and who can deal with uncertainty, which is one of the biggest superpowers, they say, what can I control? What can I control? Is it NI? Is it this? Is it that? No. How can we get around those things legally? How can I control things around this ecosystem that mean the direct impact of those things aren't as heavy? Easier said than done. Do we have to raise prices earlier? Do we have to cut complexity in our businesses? Do we have to remove low margin work? But if it's low margin, high volume, it's a bit different, but that may not necessarily work in certain sectors if your NI costs and your business rates costs kind of eat into that. You know, even if it's a high volume, it just may not work. It might do. Do we need to build management sooner, or do we build management later? Because we can't afford to be paying 400 quid a month in NI for management. Which one is it? It depends on your business and what stage you're at. Do we improve our systems before we hire? Do we look at AI? Do we look at virtual assistants? Do we look at other ways in which we can improve our systems before we have to start dashing out national insurance? I have a lot of people on, 12, 13, 14, 15 pounds an hour. Their NI costs are not massive. I mean, some of them definitely are. My management cost NI is high. But if I was employing a kind of marketing agency, everyone was on 30, 40, 50 grand a year. Shit. A lot of NI, like a lot. Just to have these fuckers. Just to have them piss me off. Are you stupid, Rachel? Your dumb haircut. You're stupid. And she says, oh, I'm a Zionist as well. Ugly hoe, man. Do we need to stop chasing cash flow and stop chasing revenue and top level and start chasing profit margins? That's always been the case, right? But as business owners, do we now really need to focus on doing that more because, they're taken from our top and from our bottom? We're just getting either side, basically. If these Ganjiri retreats adds another cost tomorrow, does your business survive? Ask yourself that question. If not, are your margins too thin? Are you too involved as an owner? Or are you not involved enough because you're paying other people? Is there too much dependency? Are there not enough systems? Nobody is coming to save your business, right? Not Labour, not next budget, not a mentor. Well, actually, I as a mentor can probably save your business. Not AI. The cavalry isn't coming. You are the cavalry. So get on your horse and put on your Spartan helmet. I don't think Spartans actually had cavalry. Not part of their thing that they don't have cavalry. Anyways, what a great film. Shame about the main actor, bit dick, isn't he? But anyways, we have to realise as entrepreneurs, and to be fair, I think a lot of us realise this really quickly, especially in the UK. No one's going to support you, government or otherwise. Your network and your people will. People outside of it won't, because the UK culture just bad mind. Oh, you got a Lamborghini, or you got this, or you must be, oh, shut up, Karen. Same haircut, reviews. We have to realize that we can control certain things about our business, and there's lots we can't. Having the right mentor, the right advisor, accountant, solicitor, whatever it is, around you is really important. I heard this quote: the rich have accountants and the wealthy have barristers, because they find loopholes in tax law. They get ways around it legally because they can pay lots of money to do it and to fight. Whereas the rich have accountants to follow the rules and to get them around certain rules legally. But you really need to look at your business, and this is why financial modeling is important. Of course, we don't know what they're going to come up in the budget. She drops it, it's in, okay. But modeling that forward is really important. Oh, we were going to hire 20 people in this department, in that department. You know, I was going to do this. I was actually going to buy a business in this sector. We'll model it now with the NI costs. Now with, if you have a premises, increased rates. How does it look now? You know, you need to forward model it and say, based on these changes, is that the right avenue to go down, or do I need to reconsider and do something else? Because what we do as business owners, entrepreneurs, is we're in the business, we're on the business, but then we don't necessarily think about the business in the bigger context. We don't think, where does our boat sit in this ocean? And are the waves coming? And are we ready for them? Is there ice coming? Are we Titanic? Or do we have a little ice breaking thing at the front? Are we boating a boat face? Are we just going to go straight through the ice? Quite cool to do an icy expedition, wouldn't it? These are the things that, as much as, and I am a big complainer about the government, that we have to look at ourselves. What can we do? In my business, for example, I've got a bunch of clients who basically, I put a thing next to it and said cost of recruitment is too high. If a cleaner leaves that site, I've got a budget for recruitment. If it doesn't work, we're now eating into net profits for many, many months ahead. That doesn't work for me. I'm gonna have to say to them, look, sorry, but it's really not, it doesn't work for us to carry on. And some of them had really large price rises in April, and I was honest and said, look, you're way out the way, you're one of this, blah, blah, blah. It worked years ago, but now we're at 1.1 mil revenue, it doesn't work. You get my drift. And we are looking at higher margin work as well. As much as we're still looking for the good old commercial cleaning, I'm still very much, going for end of tenancy stuff. We're moving into a niche soon. I potentially will let my future MD do that, actually, and then support on that. But those are going to be 30-40% margins. Yes, we get taxed more, yes, but it kind of picks up for the lower stuff. Chemicals, I'm always checking, are my chemical providers giving me the best price they can? Are you? Things like, do certain members of staff want to be self-employed instead of being PAYE, certain pros and cons. We're always looking at ways to, and even if that's as small as like, hey, cleaning operative, are you diluting that bottle with one squeeze, not two? And are you do it, because that should last months. And then we start to spend £4 on that. That's over the cost of a year, over the cost of £1 million business. That's 400 quid. That could be in my pocket, or reinvested into a steam cleaner to make your life easier. So just remember, nobody's coming to save your business. You are the savior. Yeah. Jesus came back once. He ain't come back again to save your ass. Yeah. So there we go.